Okay, so have you ever, like, scrolled through endless book reviews?
Yeah,
And they're all just like, 5 stars, amazing! And you're like, okay, but tell me more.
totally, right?
Yeah,
Like, I get it, star ratings have their place, but sometimes you want to dive deeper?
exactly. And that's kind of what caught my eye with this whole chaptered minds thing.
Oh, yeah, the AI book review platform, right.
Yeah, have you heard of this?
I've seen some stuff floating around, yeah. So, like, AI-generated book club discussions or something.
Yeah, so full disclosure, we're working from their marketing materials here.
Okay, so trying to cut through the hype a little.
Exactly. Always got to be sure we're, keeping it real. But that said, this idea of AI analyzing books and pulling out, like, the deeper themes, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it definitely piques the curiosity. Like, can an algorithm really understand the nuances of, say, symbolism or character development the way a human can?
Right. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Like, their marketing materials talk about how Chaptered Minds provides these easy-to-follow discussions about a book's themes, characters, the whole shebang. But how in-depth can it actually go?
Well, and that's what's fascinating, right? They're leaning hard into this whole virtual book club angle.
Which, let's be honest, is a pretty bold claim.
For sure. I mean, book clubs are all about that shared human experience, debating interpretations and just getting lost in a good story together.
Totally. So how does an AI even begin to replicate that?
Right. And, thinking about it, like, so much of what makes a book club great is that personal connection, like bouncing ideas off each other, maybe even disagreeing passionately about a character's motivations.
Oh, absolutely. Remember that time we argued for like an hour about? Well, never mind. But you get the point. So how does Chaptered Minds address that? Because from what I'm seeing, their pitch seems to be more about efficiency,
Mhm.
like getting the key insights from a book without having to, actually read the whole thing.
It's true. And look, I'm as time crunched as anyone these days, so the idea of getting a SparkNote style breakdown, but with like AI powered analysis, I can see the appeal.
Yeah, and to be fair, they do seem to be going beyond just summarizing the plot. They mention using AI to identify recurring themes, analyze writing style, even comparing books to others in the same genre.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of cool. Imagine getting like a breakdown of an author's use of metaphors or a comparison of how two different books tackle a similar themes. That could actually be pretty insightful.
Okay, see, now that you mention it like that, I'm kind of into it. Especially if, like you said, it sparks more conversations. Maybe it's not about replacing the human element, but more like enhancing it.
Right. Think of it as like a jumping off point. You get the AI's perspective, and then you can bring those insights to your own book club or just chat with friends who've read the same book.
Okay, so instead of AI replacing human connection, it becomes a tool to make those connections even richer.
Ah,
I like that.
yeah.
But there's still this part of me that wonders, who's the target audience here?
It's a good question. They don't really explicitly say this is for X type of reader, but reading between the lines, I'm picturing someone who's really into books, obviously, but maybe they're short on time? Or maybe they want to expand their literary horizons and try new genres.
Right, like they're intimidated by starting, like, Moby Dick,
Hmm.
but an AI gives them that initial nudge, those, like, cliff notes, to make it less intimidating.
Exactly. Or maybe they just love geeking out over literary analysis, and this gives them a whole new perspective to consider.
I'm actually starting to warm up to this whole thing, though I gotta admit I'm still a bit skeptical. Like, can an algorithm truly capture the magic of a good book?
That's the big question, isn't it? And it's one we'll probably be grappling with more and more as AI becomes a bigger part of, well, everything.
True that. But hey, maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe this whole Chaptered Minds experiment, and others like it, will force us to re-examine what we value about human connection and how technology can, complement rather than replace those experiences.
I like that. And at the end of the day, anything that gets people excited about reading and talking about books is a good thing, right? Even if it starts with an algorithm.
Oh, well said.
Oh.
So, what do you think, listeners? Would you trust an AI to give you book recommendations? Or even better, to be a part of your next book club meeting? Let us know. And until next time, happy reading.